Player insight and community feedback. I have not read this yet. I don't know what's going on. Let's go ahead. Actually, there we go. Boom. It's about that time with Volume 6 coming to a close. We wanted to take a moment to share back some insight and feedback that we've collected over the course of the volume. Okay. Your feedback during this year will help shape the future of the franchise, and part of the commitment back to you is being transparent. Okay, so off rip, I don't know if I like how they worded this right here, because it says your feedback during this year will help shape the future of the franchise, not the future of the game. So what I'm thinking right now off rip is our feedback is being taken into consideration for the games after this game. It's like they've already set in stone the stuff that they're doing for this game, so our feedback doesn't even really matter for this game. That's what it sounds like right here. But we'll go ahead and do this. So I did see pictures on the internet of this. I think this is cap 100%. There is no way possible that the Audi R8 has less hours driven than the S5. That is so cap to me. I feel like that. I feel like all of these are cap. The Eclipse? Who is driving the Eclipse? That's bad cap. And I feel like this is a lot of noobs right here. This is a lot of new players that got to be driving this car. There's no way. Because when you be in PvP, you don't see people driving that. You don't see people driving the S5 either. You see everybody in the R8. So when it says only this amount of hours compared to this, I'm like, that got to be cap. This has to be cap, bro. There's no way. But is this from launch, or is this from... This is from the volume 6, though. From the day that volume 6 launched, though, right? This isn't from the launch of the game. What's good, Fawn? What's up? This, I don't really care about this, sure. And then the top PvP playlist, I could see this. I can see the RS6 being the top one simply because a lot of people did not actually buy the special version of the Battle Pass, so they want to drive the car and want to experience how it is, but also don't want to pay the money for it. So I'm pretty sure this is correct right here. RS6 Rush, 100%. S Plus, I think that's cap too, but who knows? I'm not really on S Plus like that, so whatever. That could be facts. And then the Need for Speed, probably. That's probably correct. Yeah, these are probably correct. But the S5 being more popular than the R8, that's so cap. That's so cap. I don't believe that. I don't believe it at all. All right. Okay, hold on. Now, on to your feedback. There's a few important disclaimers we need to share before getting into it. The majority of your feedback won't be addressed during this year of live service. Then what? So you telling me that you asked for feedback, but you're going to be like, you know what? Actually, the feedback that you gave me on my game about the game, we're actually going to ignore, but we're still going to ask you for it anyway. What does this even mean? The majority of your feedback won't be addressed during this year of live service. I'm gonna still give them the benefit of the doubt because they've been doing a good job. But how are you going to ask for feedback for your game and then you're not even going to address the feedback? And watch the majority of feedback be stuff that we actually need in the game, like actual quality of life stuff, right? Watch it be like 8-player parties or private lobbies or single races, stuff that they've already put in previous Need for Speed games. They already have that technology, but yet they're going to ignore it and they're not going to address it during this year of live service. That doesn't make any sense. We're a small team on a tight schedule. That also doesn't make any sense because isn't Helldivers a small team on a tight schedule? Doesn't Helldivers listen to their feedback and be updating the game like every week? Working hard to bring you everything we promised. Okay. We'll make updates and refine features where possible, but most of the feedback is being collected to inform how to approach things in the future. Keep in mind that it took them up until this volume to fix aux, right? This is the volume where they fixed aux finally. Like, I'm pretty sure this is the update that fixed the aux finally, right? After five, right? So keep in mind when it says we'll make updates and refine features where possible, They knew about aux for the longest amount of time. And it took them this long to work on something as simple as that. Imagine all the other stuff that they still have to do. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know that they can do this. There's no way. Comment right. Like, the common sense is not sensing. Like, I don't understand what's going on here. We will only be including feedback in these reports that relates to what we're doing in Unbound. So basically, before I get into that, if the majority of feedback is saying, let's go ahead and put 8-player lobbies, and that's not what they're doing, then it didn't even matter. It's like you didn't even submit feedback at all, because they're not gonna be including it. That I thought the whole point of feedback was to get a new perspective on things that you're not doing in a game. And to get feedback on things, to get a perspective on things you are doing in the game. I thought that's what that's the whole purpose of feedback, right? Because now people are like, yeah, we like this, but you could add this. We don't like this, you need to take that out. I thought that was the entire purpose of feedback. But you know what? Okay. Even though, right, Tyree, even though that's the definition of feedback, we're just going to go ahead and address only this type of feedback. So what they did was, yes, we want your feedback, but y'all know how, when there'll be those ads on TV where it says this product promises to do this for you, but then if you look at the end word, there's a little star next to it, and then that really fast voice at the end of the ad starts reading, yeah, but if you take this product, you can get cancer, AIDS, HIV, all that sort of stuff. That's what they did here. They had in big text, they were like, oh yeah, we want your feedback. And then they had a little star or asterisk next to the feedback, and then the text, the terms of service, right? They're like, yeah, but actually, we're only going to be including feedback in these instances. Actually, we won't be addressing that feedback. We won't be doing this. We won't be doing that. And it's like, what? What are we doing? What was the whole purpose of the feedback then, Races. And the thing about it is, they thought that they could put races to different tier levels, right? Bring B to S, S to B, S to S plus, and things of that nature, right? And they thought that those were making new races. Yes, but actually no, because that's not a new race if it's already been in the game anyway, right? So they added 3 new S plus races and didn't add anything else? That's actually insane. We're focusing on responding to top feedback that has a more or less singular idea to share. And my bad if I sound sick, y'all. I am sick. Some of the top comments, particularly on Reddit, ooh, fam, I feel like they saw your post, are long and address several different things or make many different requests. Trying to address them all in this already long blog post could get out of hand and potentially be confusing. Not really, just break it down. But we've seen them all, hear you, and are trying to address what we can. I'm not going to really get too hard on them for this because they have actually been addressing stuff that we wanted to be fixed. Like the aux and stuff like that, even though it took forever, they are actually doing that. So, okay. All right. Top feedback for dedicated PvP. Though, before we get into this, why are PvP races circling through the same 2 or 3 playlists when we literally have like 10 to 12 playlists of A+? Why is A+ only 3 playlists? Why is A only 3 playlists? Why is B only 2 playlists? Why are all these playlists in PvP circling and you're over here doing the exact same thing over and over and over again when you can literally go to free roam and do like 10 different playlists with different races in them? I've never understood that. I thought all they had to do was just put the playlist in. That's like they just had to drag and drop, right? But I don't know, man. A much smoother experience when wanting to switch PvP playlists or going from PvP to free roam. Facts. This right here makes me mad so much because there should be a button to just flawlessly switch from PvP and not break up your party. I literally had to do that just now before we hopped over here. I had to do that. Hold on. Let me lower this volume. This game volume. Even though it's like ambience in the background, I'm gonna go ahead and lower it just in case. But I literally had to do that in order to pick up XCC, Prodigy, everybody, right? Danny, what's up with you, man? Even if you want to take a break, you have to back out of online play. Big vibe killer, 100%. We have made some changes to this flow already, ensuring that you are now taken back into the garage so you can see your speed pass progression. We don't care about that. And if you want to make any vehicle changes before going back into PvP or switching to free drive, stop breaking up the parties. You're acting like Call of Duty now. Stop breaking up the parties. If I got 4 people that I brought into PvP, I want them with me when I go back into the garage. If I'm the party leader, then we should be able to bring the party with us, you know? And you know what? We do need 50 races, but they're not going to do that. They're not going to do it. To be honest, I thought Heat did it best, where they had hella races for day, hella races for night. And then what if we had that, and then we had rumble races, a lot of rumble races, and we had a lot of drift races? That would be fire. That was amazing. Heat really did it the best because it was a completely different vibe from the day. Even new music, like they popped off. They was cooking. Even a completely new playlist with new songs in the nighttime. It was amazing. Right, Hudson, right. Leave with party or leave game. That's all they got to do. Simple. We're not going to get too, like, we're not going to dog them on this one right here because it's such an easy fix that I feel like it's going to happen in like, next update is going to happen. Like, what is that, in a week? So, why is it, what? This is, okay, this is feedback, yes. But as a person who came back to Unbound, I can say I want to grind for the rewards and that the game is back. Don't nobody give an absolute heck about... Brother, this right here is for feedback regarding criticism. Don't nobody care about you coming back to Unbound. Most like comment on Instagram, cap. Like, come on, man. Now, I'm not gonna say that what people say doesn't matter, right? But I think there needs to be a hierarchy of feedback, right? So I think that people that have the most time on the game, that play this game constantly, those are the people that should be given the feedback that they look at first. Not saying that they don't look at everybody else's, but I think that they should look at the feedback from the people that be on the game constantly first, right? And then kind of trickle down, kind of like how Call of Duty does with like League and competitive. They look at the competitive players first. They see, okay, what did they say since they play the game the most? And then they kind of trickle down to the YouTubers, to everybody else, right? So, yes, that's cool that there's a positive comment on here, but that just took up a spot. This could have been, what are you guys doing regarding 8-player parties and private lobbies and private races, like how y'all had in Heat? That's what this could have been. So they taking up a spot right here. This is a VIP spot. What are we doing? Like, really glad to hear this, sure. The PvP update was a good update. That was very good. Because now you don't have to rely on people in free roam to join your race in order to start a race. Which you shouldn't have to anyway, because you should be able to do private races, but that's a whole different thing. Checkpoints and the reset speed is something we could do. Wait, okay, hold on. Free replies, switch and flow, and asking for the checkpoint system to be a bit more forgiving. Oh, okay, they're talking about where you slow down if you miss a checkpoint. Low key, I like that better than how they have it now. Low key. Because if you miss a checkpoint because somebody has hit you, you're cooked. Like, that's it. There's literally nothing that you can do. Your car is going to freeze up. It's going to seize up and freeze up. And it's just going to go straight either into a wall, another car, or you're going to miss the checkpoint. Okay. Checkpoints and reset speed is something we could do. We will take a closer look for the future, but likely won't touch it this year because of risk involved. I get it, but don't. So checkpoints and how the game functions now, it's clear that that's such like an intricate detail that's so deep within the code of how the game works that if they were to do that, it would be a complete overhaul. Cause that's like a whole thing. Like missing a checkpoint and letting you respawn before the checkpoint and stuff like that. That's a whole thing. So I think that's something that you have to do from the jump, right? I think that that's something that you have to put in the game from as soon as it releases. Yeah. So yeah, I played Heat. I know about that farm. Yeah. So I get how they're not gonna add it this year because that would take a lot of work, right? But then again, they have the technology to do. They already have the code and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure they just have to rework it for Unbound. Emoting. No, nobody really cares about emotes. Emotes are just trolling for real. We really be trolling. Allow people to toggle whether or not they race with custom builds or stock builds. Allow requests, allowing people to toggle whether or not they race with custom builds or stock builds. What? Excuse me. That doesn't even make sense. If you want to race with a custom build, then go to a playlist that has custom. If you don't want to race with a custom build, then go to a playlist that doesn't have custom. I don't understand. But isn't the whole point of Need for Speed to race in a custom car? Or isn't that like Need for Speed's whole thing? I don't understand. Right, Fom. Me and Fom literally just said the exact same thing. The whole point of the game is to race custom cars. That's a little hilarious. What do you mean, Hudson, about record holding? You're talking about for checkpoints? I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could probably. I mean, a lot of y'all weren't here for when the checkpoints were bugged, but especially on rapid transit, you could crash into the wall and it was faster than actually going through the checkpoint. It would because it used to respawn you at speed. I'm pretty sure, and then they fixed it. Weekly PvP. But okay, this is what I want to read. Top feedback for weekly PvP playlists. All you have to do. So, y'all know how on PvP it gives from left to right. It's like open lobby, and then it's the like the RS5 or the RS6 or whatever, right? Then it's like the S5 playlist, and then on the far right it's the custom car playlist, right? When you click on the custom car, there should be an option where for every tier in the game, from B to S plus, you are able to go and play that in PvP. These days and its timer are absolutely stupid. Why do you have us waiting to play a tier that's already in the game? There are people that are playing every single tier of this game every day. So why are we waiting from day to day in order to play B, A plus, A, S? Why are we going from day to day? I get that it's refreshing, kind of. But now, you got a whole bunch of people that don't play S plus, that don't play B, that don't play A. All of the tiers. All you have to do is just add an option to put you in a lobby where everybody else is playing that exact same tier, and then that fixes it immediately. Like, that's it. That's it. Set it in the PvP menu, right? You know what? I would say that the game isn't even dead. I think it would fill. I think it'd fill lobbies. And even if it didn't fill the lobby completely 8 out of 8, it's still better than going to free roam and everybody's either in a link up, sitting in the garage being stupid, or they sitting outside watching the race you put up, right? So I think it would be better for us to have like 6 out of 8 people in a PvP playlist on a tier that we want without waiting for the day, as opposed to sitting in free roam and nobody joining your race at all. So, I mean, right? Before starting the playlist, we need to see the race route when choosing a card. Thank you. Thank you. We all got TikTok memory right now, right? Where we literally watch the race. Or we're streaming or something. So we're looking at chat. We're responding to chat. We're doing something else. And our mind is not on the race. And a lot of us have still not memorized the race titles either. Because there's just so many. We don't have time for that. Unless we're like doing like comp or something, right? We need to see like a silhouette of the race, saying if it's a speed race, corner king, or street race. That's all we ask for. That's it. That's all we ask for. And it would be awesome if they had a recommended car. So imagine if the game was so advanced, right? That if it said it was a speed race, the AI could detect all the cars that have like 170 top speed and above for like what? For like A or A plus. And then those cars would be first when you're scrolling through your cars. They would be highlighted and say recommended car for the playlist. Imagine how amazing that would be. That would be such a good quality of life update. That would be fantastic. That would help so much. Exactly, Tyree. Exactly. Recommend a car with top speed. That would be so amazing. Like, this is something we have to be looking into, but unfortunately, it's one of those seems easy but isn't things. What? Why is it? You know what? That's going to sound real ignorant, so I'm not going to say it. It probably is not easy. I was going to say it is easy, but it's probably not. But they already have the silhouettes of the races, because when you see them, when you go to free roam and you click on the races, it shows you the race line. It shows you what the race is, right? So all they have to do is just put that where it's a still image of the race before the race playlist. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand it. Now, I do think it will be, what's good, King? I do think it will be a static image, just because if they were to put like a moving image of everything, that would require a lot of power and a lot of time. So I do think it will be a still image if they were to do that. We understand that you want to know the best car from your arsenal that will dominate for the route ahead. But we're not going to do it because it requires too much energy. So thank you for your feedback, but no. That's what they should have added right here. That's it. Okay, most upvoted comment on Reddit. I definitely like to see some underground theme playlist next volume with a focus on tight inner city racing and lower end cars. I'd also like to see the current playlist exclusive events, Solar Cycle and Dark Knight, be opened up to more playlists, both with dedicated PvP and within the free roam playlist. It's always funny to see stuff like this because a focus on tight inner city racing and lower end cars. I love seeing that because people ask for that and then they get it and it sucks balls. What, in case y'all don't know, these races that they're asking for is riding the L. Riding the L on rails. These are the type of races that this person is asking for. But this is the thing about it, right? I don't care what the race is, but the race needs to be designed in mind that people are going to go fast on it. And that's the problem with a lot of these races in this game. The races are not designed for people to go as fast as we do. Riding the L, first of all, why the hell is riding the L in S? Okay, that doesn't even make sense. Why is that in S? That should not be an S. But a lot of these races are designed where me personally, I think that they design these races with us not micro drifting and not turning as fast as we do. I think that that's why they designed the races like how they are. Because it doesn't make sense. Why is there a curb in the middle of the road where if you go fast over it, it turns your car? the turn on riding, what is it? Riding Rails or whatever? That S playlist. Why is that one turn, the first turn, you have to slow down on that turn because of how it's designed? On Rails. Why is that turn designed like that? I think they designed it so that you're supposed to be like fully drifting, like fully gripping the turn, slowing down and everything. Like Gran Turismo. So I'm fine with the tracks, but they have to be designed with people going fast in mind. You see what I'm saying? Volume 7 underground theme playlist. Okay, we already saw. We were already tracking that. Okay. Update the cadence further. Let's see. Striking the balance between variety and repetition. Right. Like, come on, man. Why are we... I don't understand this. Why are we running the same two playlists over and over and over again? Why did they think that was okay? Come on now. Okay, lots of comments about greater variety in PvP. Or faster cycling. You know what? Because the cycling shouldn't even be in the game in the first place. I would say I think that every 24 hours is good. But that should be for special playlists, right? That should be for... Me personally, I think that instead of the RS6 playlist and the Audi R8 playlist, it should have been all the tiers, and then the only playlist that changes every 24 hours is the special car, where you drive a stock car, everybody has the same car. That's what I think should have been changed for the 24. Top is filled with skill issue? Oh my goodness. Facts, Hudson. They could do that, but that requires effort, so no. Okay. Definitely carry over the Audi handling model to the rest of the car roster. I don't think it's fair for a handful of cars to get the new handling, but not the rest of the roster. Some cars built entirely with grip in mind and no drift. Entry enabled, still understeer. Okay. I think that the handling is definitely what gives the R8, S5, and R6 the edge, right? But I think, honestly, it just depends on how dedicated you are to the craft, right? Because you have the F40, the 4GT, you have all these other cars that can keep up with the R8. They can keep up to an extent. But it just depends on how good you are with the car, right? Some cars are built entirely with grip in mind and no drift entry enabled, still understeer. I mean, that's just how the car is in general. Like the F40 clearly has grip in mind, right? Clearly. But people can still drift it. I don't understand. We are really glad to hear that the handling changes have been received so well. We would love to be able, my bad, freaking trying to read too quickly, roll this out across all our vehicles, but the truth is this takes a whole bunch of time. Okay, so this whole article is we're not going to we see what you're saying, but we're going to ignore it because it takes time. Like that's every answer has been that. Every single answer. Okay. All of the new cars we add to the game through Speed Pass will have the new handling. And we will look to add more where we can and when it makes sense. How do y'all feel about this? How do y'all feel about the handling with the Audis? I think it's fine. I like them. Yeah, I think they're fine. I noticed that the people that complain about the R8 are also the same people that either one, go out of their way to not use the R8 for no reason, or two, use the R8 but genuinely suck with it, right? I'm not talking about like being okay with it. They genuinely suck with the car. That's what I've noticed. That's a trend right now. They love to hate on the R8. Ha, that rhymes. They love to hate on the handling model. They say it's OP and everything like that, but refuse to get good with it, right? I don't think, I truly do not think that the R8 is OP. And the reason for that is because the chances of you running into somebody that is phenomenal with the R8 is so low in this game that it wouldn't even make sense. If you are phenomenal with the F40 and you run against somebody who is below average with the R8, who that's majority of the people that you're going to run into on PvP and free roam, then you're going to win regardless, even if they have the R8. Right, the R8 is one of the easiest cars, right? So it's like, I think that's fine, to be honest. We're already investigating. As far as adding older Audis, this won't be happening. What? Okay. Are you talking about this farm right here? Okay, hold on. We also hear your comments about the new handling model potentially being OP. That's cap, especially compared to muscle cars, which are perceived as too slow and heavy in comparison. Brother, so people are complaining that muscle cars drive how muscle cars are supposed to drive. And even then, the muscle cars are still popping off. Is it be dominated by muscle cars? I'm pretty sure one of the muscle cars is like meta in B, isn't it? So people are getting mad that a car drives like how it's supposed to drive. I'm crying right now. I'm crying. See, the thing about it is, and I had the same problem, people get used to how the R8 handles. And so they think that because the R8 handles that way, every other car should handle that way. But the other cars handle how they're supposed to handle anyway. So it's like, that doesn't even make sense. They're perceived as too slow, heavy in comparison. Bro, these muscle cars be running laps around people. I know they're not talking about these 2-gear, 5,000 horsepower Camaros that be an A and A+. Don't get them boys on the track, because them boys be popping off. Like, I don't understand. People are just yapping. They talking for no reason. And this is coming from somebody that hates driving everything outside of the R8. And even I know that. Clearly, you have the wrong build, or something else is going on. Like what are we doing? King is literally in the G and X all the time. Buddy over there going 3,000 miles per hour. What do we mean the car is slow and heavy? The car does a burnout because there's so much freaking torque in the car that there's no traction. That's why. But I mean, like, the Golf does that too, right? Like, that's what a muscle car does. Like, I don't understand this. Why would you want a muscle car to handle like the R8? Hello? I don't think they're gonna touch the handling model. I don't think they're gonna nerf it either, because they've all, like, that's the whole point of the R8 and Audi. That's like their whole thing. Their whole thing is the new handling model. So why would they reverse that, you know? Rank, I don't really care about rank. Rank doesn't matter. Personally, I think every time you level up, maybe the car should be unlocked instead of having to do really... What? That doesn't even make sense. Unlocking cars in multiplayer is already easy. All you have to do is play the game. See, this is coming from these spoiled noobs where they don't understand. Also, I know that it's 10 o'clock, y'all. We're gonna run probably longer. We're still gonna do the everybody get your Mini Coopers ready. Everybody get them ready. We're still gonna do it. We're just going over this. We're pretty much done too. They don't understand that when the cars first came out in this game, you had to do hot laps for them. You had to do link ups for them. You had to do all that stuff for them. These challenges that these cars have to, these challenges that you have to do are fine. Like the playlist and all that stuff. Hot Laps sucks. Hot Laps is so trash that it was at what car did they hold on? What car was it for Hot Laps? Was it the BMW? I think it was the BMW. It was one of them. I know the Maybach was link ups, right? I'm pretty sure the Maybach was link ups. Facts. Facts. The money. Oh, the Maybach was Hot Laps. One of them was link ups though, right? I don't know. I don't even remember, man. But yeah, the contracts definitely. Same thing with Porsche. Why Porsche is so good. Same thing. Money. DeLorean was link ups. Okay. W's to y'all. Because I don't know what I'm talking about. So W's. Unlocking cars is already easy. So I mean, this is whatever, right? And then half the player base on PC that got the unlock tool anyway. So it's like, okay. What is that noise? There we go. Okay. Sure. The ranking system, yeah, like I'm not gonna go too deep into this because the ranking system doesn't really matter. I mean, your rank literally means nothing, right? It just shows your dedication to the game for real. Top content for Need for Speed Legends. Soundtracks. Right, this is not gonna happen. And I'm going to tell y'all why. A$AP Rocky by himself is very, very expensive for that. I'm surprised they had A$AP Rocky's music. A$AP Rocky, and then on top of that, you got Playboy Carti. Are you serious? And then on top, you got Tyler, the Creator. And then you got Maxo Cream. Right? You have all of these very, very popular artists that are already in the game. I guarantee that's millions of dollars. Guarantee it. Off rip. So... And then you got the whole A$AP crew. So, yeah, that's not going to happen. This right here is not going to happen. The music that's in the game is going to be in the game, and they're not going to add any more music. That's it. That's dead. 100%. 100%, bro. Right, and branded clothing, right. All that stuff is very, very expensive. So I get why they're not doing this. They do have a limited budget. Remember, EA only pumps money into things that they know is going to make them money back. That's why they pump money so much into FIFA, Madden, all of those sort of things, because they know that people are going to buy the packs, they're going to buy the cards, they're going to buy a whole bunch of that stuff, right? But Need for Speed doesn't have any of that. The only thing that they have to purchase, that people want to purchase, is the Speed Pass, right? They don't have all of this other stuff. So they're not making enough money to warrant bringing more music into the game. I don't think they did that for Heat either. They didn't bring new music into the game for Heat either. It's very expensive. Overall, I mean, this is what we all expected, right? Like, let's all be honest here. Nobody expected them to drop some banger news talking about, yeah, we're about to redo the whole game. We're like, they're not doing a Cyberpunk type of thing, right? I think we all expected that. So, to be honest, new music is such a low concern for them, and it should be for the community as well. I don't think anybody outside of Hudson, but Hudson enjoys the music though. I don't think anybody else actually listens to the Need for Speed music, right? Like, we all be playing our own music, which is hilarious. So it's like, this is such a small thing. This right here, they took up a spot. Same thing with, oh, I love your game and everything. They took up a spot right here. This could have been a quality of life update. But instead, they over here asking for some music that 90% of the player base doesn't even listen to anyway. Yes, they do, Fom. They do expect the old Charger RT to handle like an R8. Even though the suspension and everything wasn't even in the same time period. But sure, whatever. Because that makes sense, right? That makes sense.